Now in the next two slides we are going to learn some inseparable phrasal verbs using transitive verbs. Examples: call on, which means to ask, to recite in class. Example: the teacher called on students in the back row. Next example: call on but with a different meaning, which means to visit. Example: the old minister continued to call on his sick parishioners. Another example is another phrasal verb is get over, which means to recover from sickness or disappointment. Examples: I got over the flu, but I don't know if I will ever get over my broken heart. Next example: it took her a long time to get over her operation, which means to recover from her operation. To go over means to review. The students went over, which means the students reviewed the material. The students went over the material before the exam. They should have gone over it twice. To go through means to use up, to consume. Examples: the country went through most of its coal reserves in 1 year. Another example: did he go through all his money already? And the last example on this slide is look after, means to take care of. Examples: my mother promised to look after my dog while I was gone. Another example: the old lady's son looked after all her financial affairs. Now in this second slide we are still looking at some commonly used inseparable phrasal verbs with transitive verbs. The first one is to look into, which means to investigate or to examine. The examples: the police will look into the possibilities of embezzlement. The second example: a committee was set up to look into the causes of the accident. The next phrasal verb is run across, which means to find by chance. Example: I ran across my old roommate at the college reunion. Now notice that this phrasal verb cannot be separated. We cannot say I ran my old roommates across at the college. No, that's wrong. So we have to say I ran across my old roommate at the college reunion, because this phrasal verb is inseparable. It cannot be separated. The next is run into, which means to meet. Example: Carlos ran into his English professor in the hallway. The next phrasal verb is to take after, which means to resemble, to look like. Example: my second son seems to take after his mother, which means my second son resembles his mother. And the last phrasal verb on this slide is to wait on, which means to serve. Example: it seemed strange to see my old boss wait on tables. Means serving people, serving tables.